Welcome to Aaron's 31 Days of Horror. 31 days celebrating Halloween, giving you something horrific every single day or have that Halloween vibes. And today I would like to do a top 10 list with you. Today's top 10 list, I did my top 10 final girls and I also did the top 10 slasher icons. Today, I'd like to give you my personal top 10 slasher movies. Before we start, I'd like to tell you that this is just films that have affected me, not necessarily like the filmmaking quality or the ones that have stood the test of time or most iconic of them all. This is just my own personal list. Ones that I hold dear to my heart, ones that have, affected me when I was younger, maybe affected me when I was older. How I'd like to do it is count down 10 to 1, each one giving myself 30 seconds to tell you how and why this film affected me with maybe just a personal anecdote or story. And then when the number one comes, I'm going to give it a whole minute. Before we begin, there are going to be light spoilers. Sometimes in order to speak about this film or talk about why it affected me or mattered to me, I'm going to have to give away some things about it, but nothing that I think ruins the film necessarily. But just always like to give you that fair warning. Let's do this thing. Top 10 countdown, starting with number 10. Number 10, You're Next. You're Next really affected me because it was my first time seeing a film where the female took it back and really kind of becomes her own slasher because she's not going to take it. She's going to kill these people, but kill them also in such creative, fun ways, just like a horror icon, slasher icon would do. And I love to see that, the final girl taking it back in such a gruesome, terrible, horrible way. And some might even debate if this is a slasher, but to me, because of that, it is a slasher. 30 seconds goes by pretty fast, right? So that's my own personal anecdote, story, feeling of why. Number 9, X. I know this is a new one and kind of divisive, I think, for a lot of people, but I loved this film. It reminded me, it took me back to like old slashers, but in such a new, fresh kind of way. And so I wanted to put it on my list. I immediately was like, it's also a film that I always tell people, have you seen this film? You should go see it. And there's a whole trilogy that kind of I mixed bag about, but X, the starter, was such a great start for Ty West. And, so good. Number 8, H2O. Halloween 20. Halloween 20 years later. I know. This is not the best of the slashers, and especially not the best of Halloween. But this is where we get into this place of that it really affected me and really touched me as a teenager. I had just seen Scream and went back and saw the original Halloween and saw I Know You Did Last Summer, and I was just really craving for another slasher, and they decided to bring Michael back with Jamie Lee Curtis. And it was Michael really doing kind of Scream in a sense. Like there was chases, there were scares like Scream, and so everyone was trying to catapult on that, that gold mine of Scream. But I loved H2O and I'll watch it all the time. Maybe not the best of the Halloween series, but it's one that I can rewatch time and time again as it holds a special place to my heart. I stab it again a lot. Number 7, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I did not fall in love with this film right away because I was really just looking for, as a kid, for more slashers. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of operates on its own rules. But over time, I've learned to really love this film and what it was doing and the kind of grindhouse quality about it as I've opened my mind about horror. But I do now think it is a slasher. It's just not doing chase slasher. It is getting to the point, getting to it right away, and doing it in scary, gruesome, awesome ways. So that's why it's lower on my list, but still on my list, and it will never leave it. Even if other films come and push it to 10, it'll stay at 10. Nothing has taken it off. But it was a slow burn for me. So I apologize to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre lovers out there. Maybe I don't have to do such a big an apology because number 6 is the remake. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was what I wanted from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I wanted chase. I love a chase. Chase for me in a horror and then doing gruesome things after the chase, like being afraid to be caught is what I want. It is very different than the original, and the original is obviously a better film. I understand this, I know this, but when I saw this, my young mind of just wanting this whole thing, and Jessica Biel was such a great person to root for, and it was not probably as scary, but it's jump scary, fun. I made it slightly higher. And I know I'm going to get it in the comments for it. I know it. I'm very aware that the original is the better film, but the remake just did it for me. And I watch it more than I probably watched the original. Possibly. I also had such a fun time in the theaters with it. I can remember my friend literally jumping from her chair. She was a scaredy cat into my lap and having to laugh at that. So there's also the experience that's attached to it, the fond memories. We made it to the top five. In the top five, starting it off is a classic. Number five, Psycho. And before we begin this, I don't want to spend the time talking about this. A lot of people debate if this is a slasher or if this is more mystery thriller to it. And if you don't know, I have Is It Horror series where I have 5 points to decide if a film is horror. And so I made sure on all of these films if they passed my personal 5 markers to get by. Psycho does it for me. Psycho passed my markers. So let's get it why it's number 5 to me. My mother, believe it or not, a boy's best friend is his mother. Well, a boy's best friend is his mother. So she made me fall in love with Alfred Hitchcock. She studied it. She loved to read books about it, about how he made films, about what the camera POV would do. So I remember watching it with her and her being like, do you see that camera? Why it's above the toilet and why it's doing this and what he wanted to give and the feeling behind it really made me fall in love with horror and the making of horror. So it was scary to me because I kind of understood the idea behind it and what he was doing. And come on, the history of it, how he changed horror with this, kind of brought horror to the mainstream. Norman Bates, Psycho will always have that special place in my heart because of my mother. A boy's best friend is his mother. We all go a little mad sometimes. Number 4, Terrifier 2. Yes, a newer one, but this one hit me right to the heart, right to the core. It was a film I was actually scared to watch because of all the things I've heard. I'm not a torture person. I'm not even really that big of a gore hound. But Art the Clown and Sienna made me fall in love with Terrifier 2. And the Terrifier series as a whole because Art the Clown is just a fun, great character, slasher icon who makes you afraid, but it's also you're enjoying it and you're on the antagonist side. But then there's Sienna who also makes you root for the protagonist. So Terrifier 2 is up there with the greats for me now. And it started with just being afraid to see it from the word of mouth of the torture gore of it. That's not my cup of tea. But it's fun. Such a fun movie. Silly and awful at the same time. I always fun about Terrifier, and then people like I think they think it's this other kind of film. I'm like, oh man, Art is so silly and he's so funny and it's so funny and it's so great and fun and wild and it's a lot of awful gruesomeness happening. But I think that's the part I like about the Terrifier series in general, but that it is obviously not real. It looks very fake. Well, it looks realistic, but the things that are being done cannot be done. People cannot survive some of the things that are happening, and they survive them while they're in the middle of it. And so it's kind of Art, Damien, the creator, poking fun at us, like laughing at us while laughing with us about everything. I totally went over, but I had a lot to say. Number 3, my lucky number, A Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street, the series, Freddy Krueger, was my first. It was the first horror that I saw as a 5-year-old boy with my best friend and his older brothers being able to sneak watch through my blanket, do this. Freddy affected me. He made me fall in love with slasher. He made me fall in love with slasher films as well as the icon at the same time, right? Like I was rooting for Freddy. I can remember Freddy more than I remember the main characters. And it was my first time kind of feeling that fear and also that like attraction or want to have to have him back up on the screen, but also not. So he will always be very dear to my heart because he was my first, as most of our firsts are dear to our hearts, or at least memorable. 2, Scream. Scream, baby. Now, I didn't realize how much this film mattered to me. I saw it as a young boy with a bunch of friends and my mom in the back, and I fell in love right away. Saw it like 4 or 5 times in the theaters, and my mom loved it too. So it was like this kind of like mystery film that she loves, but also this scary, funny film at the same time. You're laughing and excited and scared. And then I was with my friends the other night and I was quoting it. I could say it line for line, and my friend said, I think you like this movie more than I do, and it's her favorite. So it made me realize, yeah, Scream really hit it for me. It brought the love of slasher back into my life after I'd kind of forgotten about it after Nightmare on Elm Street. And Wes Craven, both films, so gotta give it up for him. 3 and 2. He's definitely a slasher icon, horror icon, Wes Craven. So Scream, number 2. And now it's time. We've made it. Scream is number 2. What could possibly be number 1? Number 1, Halloween, Michael Myers. Halloween I found from watching Scream. I was like, I want more of this. Where can I get more of this? And my mom was like, well, I've never seen Halloween. Have you ever seen Halloween? And so she bought the movie for me so I could watch it, and immediately fell in love with it. It was so simple. The music score haunted me. The man just stalking for no reason. Just keep with number 1. For no reason, these girls coming out of his insane asylum after killing his sister, and this man, and the breathing through the mask, hearing it, you could feel it on the back of your neck. The music, you knew he was around if that music was playing, even if he's not there. At the ending, when it's showing all the different images of places he's been, he's there. He is everywhere. He is the boogeyman. And even that image of him coming up behind Jamie Lee in the back, you just see a blurred vision of him. He is everywhere. And that's why he is my number 1. The Halloween is my number 1. Laurie Strode, all of it. Wasn't my first. Wasn't even my second. Probably wasn't even my third, really. But it did it. Made me understand the concept of slasher. Halloween, baby. There we go. That is my top 10 slasher films. I hope you had some fun with me. I would love you to comment below. I love having dialogue about films, about things that you love. So if you are passionate about some of my decisions and some of my choices, or would like to even tell me what your choices would be of your top 10, I would love to hear it. I love to hear other people's opinions about films. Don't boo on each other's scare. Don't boo on what I just said I loved. I just wanted to share with you what I love. And then I would love to hear from you. I promise you, I will not boo on your scare. I love what scares you. And I hope you love what scares me. It's so nice to connect about those things, but also maybe find a middle ground of what we do love together. What scares us is personal to us, and things that we've been through, and the experiences we experience while watching the film. Horror is subjective. Have a great day. Happy Halloween.